Okay. Hello, everybody. Flash Notion here, back for the penultimate episode reaction to Soul Eater. Yeah. Where did we leave off? Right. Black Star was about to get killed by the Sword God. He basically did. He got really badly wounded. Um. Wow. Really? Mako was on her way to help fight the Kishin. Medusa's dead, so that's good. Uh, fucking. Krona is alive, but in critical condition. Because why not? And Stein's back. We had some stuff going on with Avon and Kid and Death and them down in the basement. And, yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's all of our major characters, so... yeah, should be good. We're almost done here, so... as far as what I expect to happen this time, honestly, I'm kind of expecting a nothing set with this time, because, like, we have 5 episodes left, and I don't feel like we're going to defeat anybody except maybe Mosquito and Mifune in this set. Like, none of the the people in charge, like Asura and Arachne, are not going to be defeated in this set. So unless we have fights against the minions there, not the little yellow guys. I hope not. Yeah, unless we have that going on, then I don't foresee much else happening in this set. So yeah. Yeah, I guess that's about it. So let's get started, shall we? I'm gonna make sure everything's set up right here. So we shall begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. Well, my prediction was kind of wrong, like, in a lot of ways. So, again, we had some potentially interesting stuff with Black Star. I did my rant on that in the last video, about why it's not as good as it could be. And, you know, this episode kind of continues that. Still has its problems with pacing and cutting away from stuff for no good reason. Just the way things are edited together. You know. Kind of one of those things where, like, I imagine it was in the manga version of the story. They split things up like that a lot in order to give the readers a little bit of each story with each chapter. And then when the anime was made, they, like, tried to be faithful to it, and that didn't translate well. Because, like, well, I mean, they were probably turning multiple chapters of manga into one episode of anime, so, like, yeah. Glad Mifune has, now that he's been bested, has decided, okay, I'm on your side now. I really honestly don't know why he didn't try and fight back more um, against arachnophobia, but whatever. Uh, right, what else happened in that episode? I mean, all the stuff with, Death City being turned into a robot. Like, was that the actual title? I kind of forget. Uh, it's like, if that was the actual fucking title, then, like, I'm so glad I skipped. Did I? Where would it be? It would have been back here somewhere, maybe? I'm trying to. Hmm. Yep, okay. Yeah, okay, so it was the actual title. I mean, anime anime titles usually don't do this shit anymore, I don't think. Where like they spoil big stuff that happens in the episode in the title. Just why? Um in So yeah, big robot fight. I very much was reminded of the finale of Gravity Falls, which, come to think of it, like there's a lot of overlap here with Gravity Falls, where it's just like you have the main villain, yeah, you have a villain whose whole thing, like, he's associated with eyes and insanity, and he has crazy powers that border on reality warping, and he wants to turn the entire world into just a madhouse, and like the main setting of the show gets turned into a giant robot at the finale in order for a fight to happen. And it's like, yeah, there's quite a bit of overlap there. Uh, um, right, and then as far as the fight goes from that episode, like episode 47 seemed to last a while. Like a lot did happen there. There was a lot of fighting that happened, and it was really cool. Episode 48 with Death versus Asura also kind of went on for a while, but I felt it more in that one. Like episode 47, a lot happened and it went on for a while, but I didn't feel it as much. I was just like, wow, we're still only on the first episode. So much has happened. Whereas with episode 48, I was just like, okay, we're doing all this. We're going over the villains' like philosophies, and it's super weird. And like, I know he's supposed to be insane and all that, but like, much like with Stein earlier, I kind of want to dissect what he's saying, because he's not entirely wrong. Like, okay, pain hurts, and extreme pain becomes very hard to deal with if you haven't built up a tolerance to it. Um, yeah, like you get stabbed with a pin or a needle, and it hurts, but it's a smaller pain compared to, like, I don't know, something like getting your entire back so sunburnt that it starts peeling off. Which, yes, I've had that happen to me, and God, did it fucking hurt and itch and just awful. Um, I was literally crying, and I was not a young child at that point. I was still a child, but like not young. But I was crying. Um, Wear sunblock, people. But like, my point is that more extreme pain becomes more difficult to deal with, but it can be dealt with. And he's right. Fear of pain in the future is crippling. It can really impact your ability to deal with things. Um, and like it's not just like an anxiety thing, you know, like people with an anxiety aren't just thinking about that, they're thinking about a lot of stuff, but like normal, even people without anxiety, like fear pain usually. Pain exists to teach us not to do things, but like depending on how you experience that pain depends on whether you learn properly or you learn in ways that are traumatizing and damaging. So like yeah. Um and people who don't feel proper pain, like they tend to be more reckless and not act the way that they should. Um, at least in fiction. I don't know about in reality. There haven't been that many like recorded cases of stuff like that. Uh, but like getting rid of imagination. I, I've heard the idea before that imagination is what sets us apart from animals. I feel like that's a relatively not common, but like it's a philosophy idea that has spread around quite a bit. Um, and frankly, I don't even know if that's really true. Like, what constitutes imagination? And who's to say that animals don't imagine things? Like, like we tend not to have control over our dreams, but our brains are still what, as far as we know, our brains are still producing the content of our dreams. So I'd say that dreams are a form of imagination. So if animals can dream, would you not say that they have imaginations? Like, if they can visualize something that is not directly in front of them, that's not actually happening in the present, is that not what imagination is? I don't know. It's weird. And, like, with Asura, like, saying he got rid of his imagination and he's not going to imagine things anymore, like, imagination is also what I would say allows you to predict your opponent's next moves. So, like, if you're in a fight, imagination is what usually allows you to get the upper hand. If you're always reacting to what your opponent is doing in the present, rather than trying to predict what they are doing next and then, forming a strategy around it, like, you're probably not going to win as much. And, like, hell, the formation of any kind of plan or trap by itself necessitates imagination because you're creating something that isn't in the present. Like, without imagination, I don't know. It's just impossible for me to, well, imagine. I mean, I'm more of a creative type, or at least I fancy myself one. Myself. um. So like trying to live without the future or without dozens of other fantasy worlds in my head, like that just, I don't know. I can't put myself in that mindset, and I can't put myself in a mindset where like I'm not constantly coming up with new ideas and new things that aren't based in the present. So like, nah, I don't know. It's just it, it's such a weird attempt at philosophy, and I have to wonder if like there might be some kind of mistranslation with it as well. Like that's always a possibility. But like there's also, he's insane. He is insane. Like that's his whole shtick is that he is completely insane. So like trying to apply logic and reason to his actions or his statements, Asura, like by definition, cannot be contained within philosophy like that. So, the whole exercise is kind of pointless. It's just I kind of have to think about it and overthink it because, well, my imagination cannot be stopped. uh, but yeah. So Asura has killed Arachne and taken the witch's soul. Um, I think we've seen before that when monsters are defeated, their victims' souls are released. So, like, who knows what that means for Arachne in the future? Um, as far as, like, is Death actually, well, dead? I don't know. Um, he could be. We've never seen what he is underneath that outfit, but like maybe he's not anything. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I guess he's technically not human because like if he was human, he wouldn't he couldn't I don't know. I mean, it's all so confusing. Um, and I'm sure we'll get answers to it, but later. But for right now, we don't know. Trying to think what else to say. Or talk about like there was something else with Asura specifically, and I'm just blanking on it. Uh, Anyway. Well, yeah, I guess I've talked for long enough, rambled for long enough. Good set. Good set. You know, not, neither of them, neither of the episodes mm, were quite as good as, like, the first one of the last episode, last set there, where we fought Medusa, because I wasn't as invested in most of this shit. So, like, yeah. But still pretty good. A lot more action and whatnot than I expected. So, yeah. And, next time. Next time will be the last. But, until then, I guess... Fuck. Anyway, that's going to be all for this time. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, bye-bye. Yeah, that's totally the right way to end that.